Oh, that's not a very flattering angle, is it? Right, I'm holding a big SLR camera here, so bear with me. Welcome to Lockdown Workshop. As you can see, we are in the garage workshop today. I'm Mark, Lockdown Workshop. Thank you for everybody that's been subscribing lately. That's been brilliant. Don't forget to jump on over to the other channel as well, the Tri-Fit coaching one, if you're into your bikes and you're into your training. Lots of good stuff on there for cyclists, triathletes, swimmers, runners, everything. And hopefully be putting more stuff up there as well. I've just spotted that's hanging off. Right then, so what we got today, let's flip it around and have a look. We have got, so if you remember, we're on part 2 of this now. This is the giant, I think it's a Fathom Plus e-bike, or E-Plus bike. Got lots of issues with it. Just a quick recap. That is seized, so the clutch is off, but it's behaving like the clutch is on, so the clutch is stuck or something. It's had a bit of a knock as well. I've actually managed to pick up one of these relatively cheap too, so we're going to swap that one out. And I hope it's the right one, but it's a 10-speed Dior e-bike compatible one anyway. The chain's got a load of stiff links, but I think I freed them up and it's within spec, but I've got another chain to go on it, because if I don't, I can guarantee I'm going to have problems. The cost of replacing the jockey wheels on that was going to be about £12 to £13 plus postage. I got the whole brand new derailleur for £31 from Amazon as a factory return. Should have been 40 something pounds, so we saved some money there, but even at £40 it's not too bad. Front brake pads are absolutely mullered, back brake pads aren't that far behind. Front forks are stiff. We're going to leave them unless they're a massive issue, because he mainly rides it locked out anyway, and then I'll do some research into these XCR forks, because I've never done them before, and just what I need to do to make them good. We've also got the front wheel needed a new rotor. The other rotor was down to 0.7 of a millimetre. Yeah, it's my nemesis, the Q-lock. Awful bloody things. This one's actually in fairly good nick. It was just seized in the shaft. I managed to get it out without mangling it, so that's lived to fight another day. We will fill that up with lithium grease or anti-seize or something to stop that from seizing up again. It's also had a set of new bearings in there. I've bought some really top quality heavy duty ones, so they were about 20 something quid. I think they weren't the usual cheap Chinesian ones that I use, which would normally suffice, but these are guaranteed C3s, double lipped seal, heavy duty, hardened whatever bearings, so they should last. Because there's a lot more weight to this bike, because it's an e-bike, so it's not worth doing it. And recently some of the Chinesian bearings, the cheaper bearings, I've been getting off Amazon and direct from AliExpress. Good quality bearings, but they aren't necessarily C3, and the C3 is the tolerances and the clearance, and some of them have been a little bit loose, so they're fine, they'll run, but they might give you a false positive on the wheel. That's somebody at our door. So right, wait, with all that, what else we've got to do? Oh yeah, there's some more to do. So that's the brand new derailleur. So you can see it's a warehouse return. It is the GS cage. So hopefully that's the same one. I really do hope it's the same one. It should be, because it's the 1142, not the short. They call them an SGS cage now. I don't know why, because it used to be just a one was a G, one was an S, so don't understand what all this is, but anyway, yeah, as you can see, that only does 1132, and this will do in 1142, so that's exactly the one we need. It's the extra long cage, and I'm pretty sure it said on it that it was an RD M600 GS. Hopefully looks the same. We'll see when we do a comparison. We've got the inner tube to put back in as well, and the set of brake pads there. So genuine Shimano stuff. I've stopped mucking about with the cheap ones, especially with Shimano rotors, because they say don't use sintered on them. It does eat them, does seem to eat them alive. They don't seem to be as hard a compound, but they do generally work well, these pads, so it's worth spending an extra couple of quid. And they seem to last quite a long time anyway, so I'm quite happy with them. And we've got the standard e-bike approved Dior thing. It doesn't say e-bike approved on there, but that serial number is the one that now says e-bike approved on it. That's out of my stock bin. Anyway, right. What should we do? Should we get you in the camera? Oh, and we've got something else to do as well. We've got a power supply off a Sony soundbar that we've got to fix. I finally remembered to fetch the old Trifit coaching laptop up here to use up here, so I don't have to keep running off to do stuff when I'm looking. And we've also got some lights to look at as well. So that's the floodlight off the workshop that lasted about 8 months before it broke, but I couldn't find the receipt for it. And then we've got these lights that we spent an absolute fortune on from being clear, and they lasted about 18 months before they died, which would have been okay. I would have just bought another, because they weren't expensive. I'd have just bought another light to replace it, but they cycled the stock, they don't sell them anymore, and we've got 4 of them in a row, and it looked a right twat, to be honest, if I'd have taken one out. So I bought a whole load more cheap bulkhead lights to go up there, but I'm going to have a go to see if we can fix these, because I think it's a fairly straightforward fix, hopefully. But we might be able to make 1 or 2 lights out of the rest, because they've all got something slightly different wrong with them. Unfortunately though, they are exactly the same make as the ones I've just bought, so we'll probably have a load more in here shortly. I need to get that on as well, because we're going to soak the old derailleur in there and get that on, and I'm probably going to stick the cog off that. We've got to strip that down as well. That's the one that we fixed last time it was in here, and we managed to recover it because he was told it needed a new wheel. The disc rotor on that is still got about a millimetre, 1.2 of a millimetre. I think it's 1.75 or 1.76, so it's still got a bit of meat left in it. No point taking it off. He obviously runs them down. He's obviously a very good cyclist because he cycles mainly on his front brake, so I'm not too concerned about that. We'll deal with that next time it comes in. And obviously we'll get that cog off and chuck that in soaking as well when we get the derailleur in, and see if we can free that up. Right then, let's get you in the stand. Right, I'm actually thinking about moving this somewhere else. Let's shift them. What are these? They're 700Cs, which are equivalent to 29s, I think. I think 700C is equivalent to 29s. Right, it's a shame because I could have chucked them in there. I'd quite happily given them. Right then, so what we got here, that's the charger for the, no idea to be honest. I think it's the light. We finally got remembered to buy one of them. That's my heater gun. That's my JDI microphone, so we'll move that. We're not going to use that. Right, let's get you out of the way. Come on, Pooh, off you get. No idea what that was. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, this is the problem. The compound I use appears to go a bit manky. Right, so we need to fish that out. Well, we don't need to, but it's a bit... Yeah. I think I'm going to have to drain that. Right. The compound I use for degreasing, it's a bit... it's organic basically, so it's good for the environment, but the problem is if you leave it in there it just goes manky. So now we've got a load of manky mouldy shit in there that I'm going to have to clean out, which I don't really want to do, but it needs some clean stuff in anyway. I was on about moving the ultrasonic down to the workshop because it makes so much of a noise in here and it's a lot easier for me to clean it out down there, so we might end up doing that now. I might take it down there and plug it in down there, and then I can put things in it down there to cook rather than in here making a right row, because it's, I know Musty and a lot of the other people do it with the carbs and stuff, and they do it in there, but they've got massive rooms, and they're over the other side of the building, so you don't hear it, but when it's in here it really rattles on the camera. So I think I'll probably move that down to the office workshop I've got, the other one that we use, and keep it in a cupboard down there along with the cleaning stuff, and then I can use it more often, and I can boil a kettle and stuff, and I haven't got water up here. Right, that sounds like a plan. Let's get it moved. Oops, why aren't you recording? Who knows why you're not recording. So you've missed that. We've just quickly got the the cassette off. I'm going to take that down and chuck it in the parts washer. I didn't have my plastic slider retainer holder thing, so that's a bit of a piss. I better have a look at that. The wife's messaging me. It always pays to ask the wife, answer the wife when she messages. Great, where's my phone? Oh, it's over here. She's sending me pictures of bacon. Alright, we're going for an all-you-can-eat curry at the Indus tonight. So if you're in the Conisbrough area or the South Yorkshire area, the Indus at Conisbrough, I can recommend it. I'm not being paid for this sponsorship. Very good, and has only been getting better over the years, can I say. Let's get the I didn't really want to take the rotor off, but you don't have to. Actually feels really good, but we're going to do it anyway. We'll get that out, we'll get it all cleaned up. We'll stick some new grease in there and get it all nice and cushy. But let's get the derailleur off as well. We've got to get it off anyway, so we can stick the old one in the parts. Right then, so that's coming off. From memory, it's either a 4 or a 5. So I'd normally go for a 5, so I'm going to pick up a 4 because mine always does me the wrong way round. And it's going to be a 5, isn't it? I know it is. Oh no, it's not, it's a 4. Right, so the problem with this is the clutch is currently off, so that's the clutch. Normally I have that down and it makes this really stiff. There's a lot of play in that as well. Right, when that's off, it's supposed to help you to get the wheels on and off, but as you can see, that's like the clutch is stick on. That's exactly how I'd expect it to feel. It returns back, but it doesn't return back with a snap, so the chain's staying slack and it's really, really hard to push. So if I let go of it there, it's stopping there. It's not going as far back as it should do. So we've got a few issues going on there. But while we get this off, it does mean we can check the gear cable as well and see if it needs a new gear cable. Because I don't think I did that last time. I might have done, but we'll see how that feels. That's fine. I can feel that's moving great. So nice and easy off. We've got to knock the chain off, and I will put money on it hasn't got a split pin in it because it's a 10 speed. So I'll just turn it over a couple of times. See if we can spot where the link is that we knock out. It's there. That's it there. Well spotted, Mark. So these have got a break off link in them where you put a pin through and break the end of it off. I've got one, that's not all I need. It's not here, is it? Right. The chain just to repeat that, there we go. It's a completely different looking tool to everything else in here, so it's not like it's hiding, but it turns out it was. Right, so let's just get that in. We'll pop this apart because we've got to get it off to change the direction. Well, technically we don't. We could undo the wheels, but I can't be arsed. That's it. Now, if I do this carefully, we might be able to push it back through. Though I don't recommend doing that. I have got some 10-speed things anyway. There we go. Success. Right, I bet you didn't see any of that, did you? So we split the pin there with the chain splitter. Gutted we missed getting the chain off. Right, this can also go in the parts washer. No, that's not going to go in the parts washer. That's going to go in some. I'll stick that in some fuel or something. So when did they stop being? They've always been 6s. Now you're just taking Mickey out of them. That's the one we need off. I think that's the one we need off. I could be wrong. Could be that one. Let's go have a look on the. I was right first time. It was that one. So I know some of them actually come with a. See, that is designed to sit on. Some of the frames now don't have that bit. That bit goes straight in. It's the. I think they call it shadow. Don't know. I could be wrong. I don't keep up to date with a lot of this stuff. I just fix what's in front of me. That's out. So we'll get that in the parts washer along with the chain. Boom, back in the room. Right, so just quickly for the purpose of comparison, just to make sure we have bought the right one. So I think we have. I think what was throwing me was the on the videos I was watching that I took originally to work out which one was which. You couldn't see that, but no, that's exactly the same one. Cage is the same length. Right, and jockey rails are really worn. So that's all good. That's the right one. So we can go stick that in the parts washer along with the cassette. And what I'll also do is I'll chuck some solvent, some petrol or something in a metal tray and soak the chain a bit as well. So it's just a bit of petrol I've got lying around in here. It might be mixed up as 2-stroke. I don't know. Let's give it. We'll see if it comes up or not. It might be fine. This. We're just got to find a 10-speed split link. It does actually look like it's recovering. Yeah, so now I should be wearing gloves. Sometimes when your chains are just absolutely gunked up and they've gone a bit rusty, sometimes just chuck them in oil. You can use the chain cleaner on it, but sometimes just let it just soak in some fuel, and fuel's cheaper than chain cleaner, believe it or not. Into all the nooks and crannies. You just stir it round. It's like that's coming up really nice now, actually. Yeah, that's the back side, that's the bit you don't see. So we'll focus on this side, because that's the bit you do see. Some of these links are a little corroded, but actually it looks to be coming off. They're fairly good quality chains, Shimano chains, if you get a genuine one and not a fake, because there's a lot of fakes kicking around. Yeah. Coming up nice, that. Right. We'll take that down to the parts washer, take that down to the the ultrasonic, and we'll get them loaded up, and then I'll be back in a minute. I think there's some food on offer. Focus. It's not that bad. I've just run my hand down all the links. They appear to be moving okay now. There's one or two stiff ones still in there, but I think we've nailed it. So we just want to get a bit of oil on that now, and then that'll be fine. That, I think. Right, onwards and upwards. So I'm just going to leave this here because I'm going to chuck all the parts in there to soak that come out of this. Right, mess of that. Let's get rid of that. On. Nothing to see here. Just make sure we got no balls and things floating around from stuff we've already got rid of. No idea what that's out of. Sure I can work it out. Another one there. Right then, so let's get this to pieces. Freewheel feels good, so we don't need to worry about that. We just need to get them off. And for that, I think we need a 17. 17. It's definitely a 17. Yep, so that's a 17. What we got on the other side? Is it? Right, so I think it's a 17 from memory. I think it's a 17 and a 15. So this is going to prove me wrong now, and it's going to be a something else. So as usual, always take this side off first, because this is the only side you've got access to. So it shouldn't be that tight. You don't need to do these up tight. So I'm just going to start as a strip stuff off. I'm just going to chuck it in there. Try and keep this so you've got a good view of it. I'll have to move you back a little bit, because otherwise I'll keep forgetting. Right, so we've got the lock nut off. So those are, if you're not familiar, it's cup and cone. We're just going to spin that, slacken it off a bit. Bolts shouldn't fall out because the axle will keep them in place, because we've got a like a dust shit shield in the way. There's a shit shield on that, and there's a shit shield underneath it as well. I am seeing evidence of water, so I think we've just caught this in time. So there is a little bit of rust in there. Right. Still, the oil's still fairly good, but there's rust in there, so I think it's good that we've caught this now. So we'll just sit that there. Right. So a top tip: never throw away your buckets. So in theory now this should drop through. Right, we lost a couple of ball bearings. We've had a little bit of water ingress in there, but you can see it's fairly minging, so hopefully we haven't got any damage to that. We'll use my patented ball retriever. Okay, maybe we won't. They're actually still quite greasy, they don't want to come out. Come on. Normally you don't have a problem with this, normally... Okay, it's going to be like that, is it? I don't want to use one of my new screwdrivers, I'm going to have to. Something with a flat blade, you just want to tease out the seal. That's it, we've got one of them out anyway, that's it. Again, chuck that in there. Right, these should just fly out now. Stick that one back there, we don't need that one. Any more disappeared in there. Oops. Right. Need to be careful, we've got balls on the loose. Fortunately we know how many is in here, there's 9. 9 in each side. Fairly standard configuration. Alright, but always try and keep the bike over the top of this so that you can just fish them out. So it should be all of them. Alright. I can never remember whether these seals are the same or not, but if they're not, it should be fairly, if you've got them in the wrong place, it should be fairly obvious. That's it. So we take the seals out so we can get into the gubbins. Now I think I have got one of those cups now, but what we'll do is we'll get loads and loads of paper. So we just want to get rid of the bulk of the old grease, so we can inspect everything and see how everything's panning out. Now since we did this, I've discovered actually these things are quite easy to source. there's only about 2 or 3 different types. So if the ball race in here is mullered, which this one we have caught it. Now I can't remember whether I replaced that last time or whether I sanded it, but that looks okay. There's some crap building up there, but other than that I think that's not that bad. I'll just give it a bit of a just try and clean that out a bit more. That's done the trick. Right, what we will do though is we will stuff that through if we can. Might not let us, we'll have to use something else. That might work better. Just want to try and catch all the grease that's in the middle because it's contaminated, it just needs to come out. And as predicted, there was another ball hiding in there as well, so it's good we did that. Right, that's looking a lot better now. Give that a quick clean up. That feels fine. Like I said, I'm not too concerned about them now because I know I can replace them, and if that's mullered you can replace that. Now what I can do, which I'm not sure I did last time on this one, I think I just cleaned it up, is, and don't worry about the disc getting contaminated, you can clean those afterwards, just don't forget to clean them. Now I can't remember if this was mullered last time because I don't think I replaced it, but I do have a spare cone now, but I think the cup might have been alright. So this bit's called the cup. The bit that screws into it's called the cone. Right. You know what's rubbish about this camera? There's no light on the front to say that you're still recording. You're still recording. Do you want to have a close-up of this? Right. Yeah, so this bit in here is called the cup. What I'm looking for is any visible signs of damage. Now, I can't remember if I did replace this last time because I have found that I can get cups, you knock them out from the back side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squirt a bit of degreaser on there, or brake fluid. We go for brake fluid or degreaser. Brake cleaner. Brake cleaner. Oh, we've run out. It's not good. It's going to be degreaser then. I'm going to have to fill the brake cleaner up because I need it for the... And this stuff's no good for cleaning rotors. So, yeah. Please definitely do not use that for cleaning rotors because it does leave a natural oily film behind. Just want to get all this cack off from around here. It doesn't need to, it doesn't do anything, it just doesn't look good. I think we're all good there. Like I said, don't worry about the rotor, we can clean the rotor afterwards. There'll be some smart ass who goes, look, he's got oil all over his rotor. You know, that's rusty. Right, we've done the other side, haven't we? Yep, that's clean, that's looking good. That's looking good. Right, just give me balls a wash now. So again, we're using, can you see this? No, you're looking at that. So you should be able to see that. Let's just check. Yay. I'm trying to get a little bit better on my camera work, because that's the one constant theme that I get is my camera work is shit. I can take the editing on the chin because I know I don't try with that, but there's no excuse for shit camera. I just forget to reposition the camera sometimes. I forget that I'm zoomed in. I think I did it earlier when I was getting the thing up. Right. So best thing, petrol just gets rid of contaminated grease really quickly. The thing is, when you're done with this, you can put it in a bottle and use it again. Right, so there's a rubber seal on there. You want to make sure you get that nice and clean as well. And then make sure we dry it as well, because the petrol probably will do it some damage before you start plinkety plonketing in the screen at the bottom. Let's just clean this one up. So I think this was a specialised thing, because you could not get the proper giant one was out of stock. So what I am going to do is I'm going to inspect my bowls, because that's something you should always do as well, and see if there's any signs of corrosion or flat spotting on those. Nearly there. Yes, probably could have done this in the parts washer, but I'd already got this out, so it's kind of a bit of an easy one. Clean that up. Right. So we'll put them on something to dry as well. We'll keep the muck off them now we've cleaned them. Right. So we just need to, yeah, they look good. You'll tend to find one side will be worse than the others, but because we mixed them up. These were new ball bearings last year, and they weren't cheap ones either. They were decent quality ones. I got them from a UK bearing company rather than a Chinesium. Oops! Can you see what I'm up to? I'm giving my bowls a polish. What have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just looking at that one, it looks slightly discoloured. So what you tend to find is on one side they get worn more than the other, because there's more water gets in one side than the other. So we've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All bowls accounted for. Just move that out over there, out of the way. We'll give this set of bowls a polish. That's 8. And 9. That one looks a bit. They go slightly cloudy when they're starting to go, and it's only the outer surface that's hardened. The inner surface isn't, because otherwise if it was they'd just crack and split. So what I'm looking for is the ones that are slightly hazy, it's not the end of the world, but what I'm looking for is any that have got any signs of pitting or flat spots on them. 8, and the last one, 9. Right, so that's all good. Let's just give these a quick dry down. What are you looking at? How are you looking? Oh, yeah, we're looking good. Yeah, it's a little bit deformed to that, so we'll just push it down. That's good. Right. Cone looks alright, I think. And there's possibly one. I think it's just staining. It is, I think we have just caught this just at the right time. Right then, let's put it back together. Just in case you're wondering how much shit came out there. Answer a lot. The state of that. Yuck. It's best to clean this lot out now because it does, you can see in the past when I've not cleaned it, it's stained the stainless steel. I don't think it's particularly good stainless steel, hence why it got stained with it. Probably some glue in here, or we've been using it for painting or something as well. Or somebody has, it won't be me. These are actually quite good. These are a very cheap alternative for in the workshop. They're just cheap animal feed things, so if you bought the workshop ones they're quite expensive. But these are just good stainless steel things. We've got loads of them. I suspect it belonged to the chickens once and I've stolen it. Or whatever it is that's in there, the petrol's stripping it off anyway. Right, let's put that back under there. Let's get cracking. Now covered in crap again. Get rid of that. Ow! In fact, no, we can't get rid of that. We need that. I need that to play catch. Right. Always do the freewheel side first. Put your balls in, grease them up. Put the seal in, or put the thing in, then put the seal. I can't remember which way around you have to do it. I think you have to put the seal in first. Possibly, maybe. Yes, you do. So put the balls in, put the seal in, and then that goes over the top. Seal's on there, and you get a nice seal. And then the actually it might be that one that goes on this side. Yeah, it is, it's that one that goes on this side. And then I think this one should go against this one, if I'm right. Or we might just need to knock that back a bit. Where that goes over there, and that makes a good seal there, right, or something like that, who knows. Anyway, right, so we need 9 balls in there and we need some grease. So we've got a new toy, because the other grease gun was very unwieldy, so we've now got this one. Now I'm not actually entirely sure where the rest of it is. Have we fetched it up? Did we fetch it up? I don't know what we did with it. Never mind. There's a shorter one of these to put in it. In fact, we'll just look for that because I would rather have the shorter one. How are we doing for battery? Looking good. Right, couldn't be asked. So we'll leave it with the longer one. I did find it in the end. So just making sure we get some grease in there. This is a new toy, so this is its first time out. So as you can see, I'm having great fun with it. It's probably not primed either, which isn't helping. It's still filling the air through. It's nice grease though. Grease come free with it. It's a standard small cartridge size. I don't think it was very much. It was about the cheapest one I could find off eBay, off Amazon, as you do. So we'll just put the first bank of balls in. You want a closer look at this? I'm even sure you can see that. Can't get it any closer anyway. You've got grease on your rotor. Worse than that, I've dropped my balls on my rotor. Good thing about this now is that if I need to go and review the video for anything, I haven't got to do it on the camera, like for the bit where I'm not sure whether this goes in here or on the other side. I'm pretty sure it's this side this one goes on. Could be wrong though, because that feels really tight. That feels tighter than it should be. So I've got a sneaky suspicion it's this one. Now that's even worse. I think it was this one, I'm pretty sure. But if it gets to a point where I'm really struggling, I can always dial the video up on the laptop now, because we've got a laptop in here finally. Just got to be careful with this that you don't drive it down too far or dislodge your balls, because you really don't want to dislodge your balls. So you want it up high enough so it makes a good seal. That's it. They're running well. They feel good anyway. So we're just going to spin that over now. And that's going to drop down, but we're not too bothered about that at this point. See, these tubs are just the right size. It doesn't drop down low enough for the balls in the bottom to fall out, and it keeps it up high enough up here that the balls up here aren't going to have an issue either. This does seem to be playing a bit better now. That's it. There might still be a bit of petrol film hanging around on there, which is why the grease isn't sticking. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry, be happy. We've gone in there 4, 5. Just be careful when you're picking them off because I've used toweling. That you're not picking up any bits of toweling with the balls, because obviously my fingers are covered in grease now. Right, that's it. They're all in there. They've got a nice layer of grease over the top of them. Don't need to add any more. Shove that in. Yeah, that fits nice. Again, don't push it in too far. It doesn't need to go in deep. You don't need to go balls deep. Right. Let me just grab that, lift that up, get that on my finger, try and do a two-way shuffle, and once we've got this on we're safe. Then we know nothing can drop through. And this is where the black magic starts. You want it tight enough so it spins freely but not so loose that there's too much play in it. And because it's cup and cone, you should always have a little bit of play. Not like bull raced systems which don't have play. Right, let's get that out of the way now. So I'll show you the trick to doing this, and you need a vise for it. Back in the room. Right, so what you can do now, if it's in the vise, I can feel we've got a little bit of play there. Now what's going to happen when I tighten down on this is it's going to crush, because there's play within the thread, it's going to crush that cup downwards on the thread, and it's going to tighten it up. So I've got a little bit of play, we're just going to see. So the trick is with this is to not let this bottom one move, and if anything push slightly against it, so that's nice and tight, and then we're going to feel the play. There's no play there, but now we want to see how well it runs. Now I can't feel any play there, but if I put it in there I'll feel some play there. Now that you can see is spinning beautifully. The danger is if you over tighten it, the bearings will overheat. But that's running well. I can't hear anything. I can't feel anything. That's running well. Just to see, check the rat, see how the ratchet's going. Right, so we'll commit now. We'll just tighten that up a little bit more, and what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of tension out as I'm doing it. So I'll actually tighten the bottom one onto the top one, so it actually relieves a bit of the preload on the bearings, because I got it first time. That's it, all good. Right, quick wipe up round here just to get off any residual grease, so we don't want to get it flung onto your rotor, because that's the last thing we want, because the comment section will be going mad. Well, I think 3 people moaned last time. Right, where's my buttons? I haven't used my buttons. Where have I put them? Must be around somewhere. Okay, we'll use fingers. Right, so this is the stuff that I use for cleaning brakes. I use one of these. Don't try and use a cheap one. So this is one I've seen Ed China use, and I found them on Amazon. You'll see the one I used for the degreaser. They claim that can be used for brake cleaning solution, but no. And this is just some generic brake cleaning solution. It's a standard thing, is it 111 trichloroethylene or something like that. It'll tell you what it contains. Hydrotreated light propan and naphthan, which is petroleum. So it's not 111 trichloroethylene. Never mind. It's brake cleaning, it's fairly standard stuff. You can tell it's petroleum based when you smell it, to be honest. And you can tell with the way it burns as well. So no, it's not having that. I mean, look how quick that went. You missed a funny one earlier. That big pot of petrol that was there, I got a fly buzzing around, and I zapped it with blowtorch and chased it down and nearly took the blowtorch across the top of the nearly. So I'm quite pleased with that. There is one other thing we need to do, which I forgot when I got the cleaning solution out, so we'll do it now with this. This was a little bit graunchy, so we'll just give that a quick clean up as well before, and then grease it before we lob it in there. What I'll do with that one is I'll use a bit of white grease on that if I can find it. Could do with getting a grease dispenser for this actually, because I would use it more often if it was in a grease dispenser. Right. So we'll just lube that up. White grease is better when you've got interference surfaces that are likely to corrode when you've got water. If you've got interference surfaces that are likely to corrode because of galvanic interference, you want copper slip. So you'll tend to find around a lot of your door latches and things like that at the factories and on your hinges and things, on your cars, not your factories, on your cars, that when they're servicing them they'll generally use that. Right, let's just get a clean one of these. Try not to get this in the middle bit where the bearings are, because you've just nicely greased them, and what you don't want to do is chuck a massive ton of solvent in that then dissolves all the lovely grease you've put in. Right, the other side's not the easiest to get to either, so just a bit on there and just wipe it round. You can see the muck it's getting off already. All's good. Right then. What we've got to do now is go and recover the bits out of the parts washer, which should have finished cooking by now. Right, back again. We've just been down to the parts washer to see how everything's cracking on. Might as well spin this over while we're here. Let's do it this way round. See? Bolt. Right, fat bit, you know the drill. Still plenty of grease on this, so I'm not too bothered about smearing any more on. Actually, let's put a bit on. You don't really need it on this. It just means if it does get loose, it's not gonna. That's a new tube, isn't it? Seems to remember it took ages to get it going last time. There we go. I thought it was coming. Oh, I can see it. It's coming up the tube. There we go. So I'll just put a little bit of red grease on just to... Hey, let's just do it because we've shown we've done something then, haven't we? You don't need it, just helps the thing bind on. I suppose if it's chattering around it reduces the wear a bit. So we're looking for the fat one. That's the fat one. I was getting all excited about finding the carrier for this, and it's all one piece. I forgot it's just a Dior, isn't it? They don't have anything fancy on them. Parts washer's done a good job of this actually. To say it wasn't that clean when it went in, and the general rule with the parts washer is you need to get as much of the grease off as possible before you put it in. So it's not done a bad job actually. Quite pleased with that. There's a little bit of shittiness going on there, but to say the state it was in, it actually looks quite good. So roll it backwards until you feel it bite. Wind it up. Go and get the torque wrench out. So we're not using the posh ones now, are we? We're back on these. So let's just set it to. Oh, nearly kicked over the bucket of petrol. Foot-pounds, no, we want 40. So that's on the 0 of 42. We need to take the 0.2 off, which is that way. That's it, we're bang on 40. I don't think it matters that much, to be honest. 0.2 of a Newton metre out. It's not going to make a massive difference. feel this one. I never feel the other one. Right, so that's on. All we need to do now is reinstate the skewer, and this can go back on. Not that way around, it won't. Come on, spin, spin. That's running a lot better now. Wiring that up. Right, that's ready to go on. Let's sort out the front wheel now. Let's be tidy for once. I don't need that anymore either. Done with that. That can go back up there. Don't need the WD-40. Finish with a cup of tea. That can go back in. I'll need that in a minute. Right. Try to be tidy. Try to be tidy. Right then. So let's get these on. Which way round is it spinning? It is spinning that way round. It's not spinning any way round until we get this out of the way. So we did find the exact same original tyres, the Schwable pickups, or whatever they're called, that he got on the back that he really liked. So I think these might be a slightly newer version of it, but we'll see how we go. So direction of travel with a bike is with the arrows. If it's a motorbike, it'll be against the arrows, so we'll just check that. So it should be that way round. So there should be an arrow on it somewhere that says rotation. For crotched type rims only, whatever that means. So potentially this is tubeless. Ready. I think what they mean by that is clincher rims only. Right then, so that's on that way. See how well these fit, because sometimes these hybrid tyres are an absolute pain up there. Fucking arse, I'll be honest. And I haven't got my tool with me either. No. I think I decided I had to let. Oh no, that went on very easily. Even with all the bits of cookie that I dropped in it. Right, so let's just put a bit of air in this. Oh, this one's got a valve cap, the other one hasn't. The back wheel didn't have one. Let's take that off as well. So we're reusing the inner tube, nothing wrong with it. You can see it's still got plenty of powder on it. Just fix the pump. I forgot this is the old pump. Right, so we need to turn that to there. That's it, it's just inflating it just to make it interesting. I hope you can see this because I've not got the monitor screen round, and I've probably just touched it. Yep, we have. Right, you can sort of see it. There we go. It's a very heavy duty tyre, this. It's supposed to be a town bike hybrid tyre. And it is definitely well made, well put together. So I'm just, if you don't know how to do this and you really are watching this because you want to know how to put this on, then partly inflate the inner tube. I know I gloss over this normally, I don't normally explain what I'm doing. Now I'll tell you now, the easiest way to do this is if you can get the inner tube over into the rim of the bike itself, but that's easier said than done, because depending on the tyre and everything it will try to push back, and also because this is a tubeless wheel as well, it will generally try to not want to do what you want it to do. So start just past the valve, so that when we come round we're clipping the last bit in at the valve. The reason we do that is because you can drop the opposite side into the rim to make it easier, whereas you couldn't do that with the valve. If the valve is the last piece, it gives you the maximum channel to drop the tyre into, because what you do is you pinch it and drop it into the centre of the channel, because it's like a V. so you get more room to play with effectively. So, you know, if I pinch that now and get it into the thing, it gives me more room round here. And you can see every time I do it, I get a little bit further on, but what you've got to be careful of is the tyres not popping out. So you don't have to hold it with both hands while you're doing this. You don't have to rest it on this. It's just, I'm doing it because I'm trying to video for you. So again, squeeze it. Right, so same thing again, we're just trying to make sure we keep this in the centre. Wriggle it round. Push, 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 push. Hopefully we don't have to get the tyre spanners in. There you go. You do not need tyre levers. Right, all we're going to do is blow it up now and let it go pop, because this was a bit of a, it was having a bit of a nightmare. So if you remember, his front wheel, he thought it was buckled, but it wasn't. It was the tyre had not popped out onto the channels because it's tubeless. So tubeless tyres are a bit like car tyres. They have a flipping heck. Get some air in that first. The tyre's so tight, it's really hard to squeeze the tyre to keep the inner tube valve out. So I'm putting a bit of air in it first, just so I can get the tyre on the pump on the valve better. So you can hear it's leaking. But now I should be able to push that in and not have as much of an issue, he says. Still not enough pressure in there. So what we want here is we're probably going to have to overinflate this. It says 65 psi, we might have to go up to 80 to get it to pop onto the rim, because there's like little channels on the outer edge because it's tubeless. So it's very much like a car tyre. I can see now that there's some bits where it's not in properly. Either that or that white line's not right, which is also quite possible. Oh, there we go, that's one. So you might get up to 4 altogether, 2 each side. Still not up to tyres max yet. Maximum for this tyre on this rim is 65. So you've got to be careful because your rims and your tyres have a maximum. And this pump's really knackered. Oh. Right, we're on to 65. So let's just see where we've ended up. So what I'm looking at, don't look at the white line because that's deceiving. There's a moulding line, which I don't know if you can see. Can you see? So there's a moulding line. And what I'm looking for is that that's even all the way round. That is on that side. Right, it's a little bit in there, but that could be the moulding slightly off, but generally your moulding lines are what you work to. So, tried and tested method now. We're just going to have a look, see if it's wobbling. It's wobbling at the moment because I can't hold it straight. No, that's perfect. I can go back on the wheel. Whew. Got to work out that pump. I think I want some silicone spray on that. I don't even know if I've got any, to be honest. Some carb cleaner. Bumper trim shine. I think that contains silicone. Oh, there's the silicone spray. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the bumper shine would have done it there. Trying to get some down into the tube as well. That feels a bit better. Yeah, I know, I've stuck a WD-40 nozzle on it. Right, so we've got that. We've got that to go on. We've got this to clean up. We've got these to put back on. So one thing I will do with these as well is to aid the getting off. So these are the top hats. One of them should be bigger than the other. Yes, that's right. So it just wants a bit of red grease in there. Just smear it around. It will just aid getting them on so it doesn't chew up the... And then we'll just put a bit here to act as a little bit of an additional barrier to the muck as well. And just in case it's rubbing on the bearing. Now if you remember, we were having some fun with these. That's it. You wouldn't normally have to knock them on, but I suspect that the top of there got a bit chowed up when we did it first time. Just checking the rubber seal's okay. Same thing again, bit of grease in there. Bit round there as well. It doesn't want to go on. There we go. Perfect. Right. Now what we're also going to do is we're going to wang a bit of white grease in there as well, on both sides and on the shaft, to make sure that it gets... we don't get any more me having to get stressed about. Q-locks. Right, so we'll just stick that to one side. Probably want to put a bit of white grease on this as well in the mechanism. We'll smear a bit on here as well. Just make sure it's well lavished up. Like I said, you could put anti-seize on as well, but this isn't galvanic resistance. So your problem with this one, this is shit gets down inside, and it just what this does is this stops the shit from getting inside, and if it does get inside, it forms a barrier. I don't know the pure science with it and the proper applications of this, but that's just my general understanding. Feel free to tell me I'm wrong. Every day is a school day. I keep saying one thing, I'm not a trained mechanic. Right then, so we don't think we need the chain, but we have got to put a ton of oil on it. Oh, and we found the missing remote. Right then, let's get this on. So we did check this. The other thing has come free. Right then, so that's clutch off. That's clutch on. Right, there's something definitely wrong with that clutch down there, because when I put it in the off position there, it's really stiff. You can't move it. When I put it in the on position, you can move it. So I'm wondering whether the shaft slipped or something in there. So it's definitely mullered. So we made the right call getting that. I think I would have been fighting a losing battle trying to make this fit. So make sure you lift these up before you put them on. Get it so it's almost tight. Right, so nip it up tight, back it off so it moves again. Just let it drop down so it catches that stop. So you make sure you lift it up quite high so you miss that stop. So there's a little stop in the derailleur hanger there, and then just nip it up. It only wants to be a couple of newton meters, so like you're opening a door handle, if you imagine you've got that like that, just do it as if you're opening a door handle, no more, because if you muller that or that or that, it gets a bit expensive. Right, so that's good. All we need to do now is just hook this up, but we can't do a great deal with it until we get the back wheel in now. So we'll stick the back wheel in. You have to bear with me now, I'm going to have to stand in front of you. This is always a bit of a pisser. In fact, before we put the back wheel in, we'll do the brake pads. So there we go. Right, so these are split pinned, or what the septics call cotter pinned. So I'm just going to pinch the split pin. It's not a cotter pin. A cotter pin is what goes on an old crank, but then they call that something else. Right, don't need to save them. I think that from memory they come with about 3 or 4. Let's have a look how bad these were. Yeah, that's the only thing with these Shimano ones. They go on this particular one. They go out the bottom. Right. Yeah, that's fairly low. They usually say about 1 millimetre, and that's about 1 millimetre on that one on one side, slightly over on the other. That's definitely low. So we were pretty much there or thereabouts. We've been hitting the squealer soon. So let's get these out. Again, keep me grubby fingers off it so I don't get people complaining at me. You can't see any of this now. Right. Out there. So we should have a set of pins here. A carrier and a set of pins if we can get it out. There we go. Put that up there for spares, just in case. And get the brake pads out. Right, so nice new brake pads. Now you can, if you want, just take that bottom edge off. A lot of the really high-end brake pads, particularly the Shimano Ice Tech ones, do that, but for Dior with the non-Ice Tech you don't really need it, to be honest. They're a lot more accommodating. So slide it up, get it in position. You don't even need any copper slip on the back of these either, like you would do for a lot of others. That's it, we're in, we're through, and all we need to do is just bend that over. They're a bit short actually then, they're longer ones. Some of these are longer than others. Aha. They are. Well, I never. That'll be why they give you several different sizes. So I bet that's longer than that. It is. So there's 2 short and 1 long. That's better. That's the one it should be. So you just need to bend one of these over, you don't need to bend 2, that's why one's longer than the other. And good luck if you can bend the other one, because there's not a lot of room to do it. It's not the kind of thing that's going to get that kind of pressure anyway. So there you go, that's in. So we can get that wheel in now. Just have a look, see if I've got a wedge for splitting them, but I haven't got it with me. Right then, let's move. Because the pads are too close together. Come on pads, spread. No, you need to spread them. So I do need a pad spreader. I'm doing my thing. Well, that was a bit of a fail. I'm supposed to have a pad spreader in there, but it's appears to be missing. MIA. That's a bit of a pisser. Should have one in here as well, because we zipping this wheels on. In the bottom. There it is. So let me just give it a clean so I don't get people moaning at me, even though it's only ever been in brake pads. Right, so it's just a wedge, you put it in there and it just parts the pads if they want to be parted. Are you recording? Yes you are, just checking. Right. So that's all we're after doing, is just parting them pads. If they don't go, looks like we'll have to get a screwdriver in, but the other thing is you need to be quite quick because they will retract again a bit. They're a habit of doing that. So just get that out of the way. Hopefully we've been quick enough. Yep, we have. Keep forgetting these need to be wound out quite a long way for this bike. And to get past that as well. God, that's stupid. You can't get the quick release past the... That's it. They are recessed as well. So it's almost like having a... Right. Right, though these will not be centred, so we do need to drop this on the floor now, just to, but I'll do that once we've got the front wheel on, and we will need to sort them out as well. I suspect that's the back brake. Is that one? Yeah, that's quite tight now. Right, so they'll need to bed in a little bit, I think. While we're here then, let's get the front wheel on, balance the bike up, and then I can drop it down and make sure the back wheel's centred properly before we try lining the derailleur up and things like that, because it does have an impact on that. The other thing I'll do as well is let's just clean these out, because I suspect a lot of the problems I was getting was actually in this one here. Don't go any further, you'll get your finger stuck in there, and then that's going to be embarrassing, having somebody else's forks removed from your finger. Right, so it goes on this way round. It doesn't, it goes on this way around. Actually, do you know what? I think that was on the wrong side as well. So the skewer has been put in on the wrong side, because I think there is a difference in the forks. Could be wrong, but let me know if I'm right or wrong with that one. The trick is with these is they don't need to be tight. Just tight enough so that doesn't unwind. That's it. Let's just clean that up. Just a bit of spring cleaning. I might butter them forks up as well while we're here, because they do look a bit dry. I have some special butter. It's called fork butter. That's got grease. Is that the fork butter? Yeah, fork and pivot grease. So just rub it on. Wipe it off after a couple of days, because it will pick up the grease, but what it does is it kind of bonds to the metal and gets into all the the porousy bits, you know, the imperfections and that. So it just helps helps everything glides and makes them less sticky on the seals and stuff as well. So They need all the help they can get, them folks. Right. Of course, we're going to have to take this off now because I've just realised we didn't put the... in fact, no, we'll attack them from the other side. We'll do them now before I forget as well. So we'll just do another set of brakes. Don't need to talk my way through this one. So this is how you do it if the wheel's on. And normally the wheel will be on. I won't take the wheel off to do this. But it's just because I've got the wheel off on the other one. The thing is, if you do it this way as well, you get a chance to visibly inspect them. And if you do need to use a screwdriver to get the pistons moved out of the way, it's easier to do it. Don't forget, I need to clean the rotors on this one as well because I haven't done them. That's it. There we go. You bugger. Yeah, these were almost down to metal. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there's very little left there. They're not particularly well set up either. That's quite bold at the top. Right, let's get them swapped out. Because I just dropped one of them in a puddle of flipping grease. Just got a little nip of grease on one side of it. I haven't cleaned it on my towel. Cleaned it yet. That'll do it. It'll be fine. It's only a tiny smidge. I had to look twice to see that it was there. And there's the long one. That's the long one. These are a bit on the tight side as well. Not as bad as the other ones though. So if you're wandering with the bolts, you always have the bolt or the split pin exiting away from the wheel. The reason being, if it does work loose and it comes out, it's not going to get stuck in the rotor and involve you going over the handlebars. Not that I think you ever would go over the handlebars. Right, you might need to get a screwdriver on this one. So when I pry these apart, I'm not going to pry them on the bearing on the braking surface. I'm going to pry them on the side of the pad. That clipping noise there was the metal thing. I popped it out of the way. Let's pop back though. That's okay. Right. Just need to do the other side again. The reason being that they're closed up too much. Must have caught the brake pad at some point while it's been off there. So all I need now is my little plastic thing. It's in my pocket. Do the extra bit. So sometimes you might have to relieve it. That's it. Right, so I need to quickly ram these on now. That's it, we're on. Sneak up on it, catch it by surprise. Right. So I'm going to have to centre these now, but I was going to have to do it anyway, so they're a bit closer. Nip it up, back it off. Same for that one. Do it up, back it off. We'll check these in a minute, but I think they're okay. I think that top was probably backed off a bit more than it needed to be. Oh, that washer's just split. Well, I never thought he had something crack. So these have got them really annoying grooved washers on, so hopefully we've got another one of them kicking around somewhere. We should have. Right, just bear with me and I'll show you what it's done. So I don't know if you can see that. So these are like a little cup and cone washer setup, and it's split, it's cracked. So luckily we've got loads of spares of them. In fact, actually more of them than I've got all the other bits. So I don't actually like them. I don't know why they put them on these type of brakes. It just seems a stupid thing to do, to be honest. Doesn't make sense, that's all. Right, let's bite that back down again. Like I said, we'll sort this out. I'm going to have to take a bit of pressure out the hydraulics as well. Because I think I had to bleed these last time, the brakes were shot, so it might have a bit too much fluid in. I'll just dig out. I think it's a 3. Could be wrong. Nope, that's it. So I'm just going to slacken it off. I'm just going to shoot out a bit of fluid. That's better. Same with the back one as well, I think. We'll just crack it off and let it burp a little bit of fluid out. If I can find out where the burp hole is on this one. Right, you need to move out of the way. Because I can't get in. That's it. Yeah, that's right, there's no rubber cap on this one. Right. So we'll just undo that. So all it takes, just to take a little bit of the pressure off. Actually might need a bit more. Trick is not to release the. That's better. Still a little bit tight. Right, boom. So I don't know what you saw of that. I just burped a bit of pressure out of the brakes just to make the wheels spin a bit easier. So hopefully that will do it. We'll Shove that in there just to keep it out of the way. But what we need to do is line up the, in fact we'll leave that off. I've got to line the derailleur up first. Now I think these are Allen keys now. Not that one, I know that's for certain. Is it this one? So I can never remember since I've switched to Allen keys. No, next one down. What is that one? It's a 2. Oh, we've got a 2 in that in here. No, because the torque's in there. Right, so what we're looking for is I need to see that that wheel's in line with that, so we've got to find the high and low. So that's that. So I'm guessing one of these is high and one of these is low. So I'm guessing that one's... Oh, I can't see. I can't read what it says either. Right. Right, that's the low. Sorry, the high. It's the one down there anyway. So that's the one we've got to move. Oh, that's a... Oh, it's already mangled, that one. So what we're doing is we're just looking to see that that is lined up with that. That might be a little low, but I can live with that. And then the same when we go up to the top, we need to put that one on. So we need to lock that one in a lot further than that. Just wind this one in as well, to at least get contact. Oh no, that is the high one, so what's that? Oh, that is the high one. Oh, we need a lot more than that. Anyway, that wasn't what I thought I was adjusting. And then what we might be able to do is slacken that off a bit. So that goes, yeah, that goes down a bit. Right, that's better. Right, let's see how that's doing. Right, that's still too... Nearly there. Nearly. So what we're doing is we're just roughly adjusting the high and low stops. We'll do them with a bit more accuracy when we get the chain on. Right, that's nearly there. Slightly over that, so that's okay. We've dropped that one down. So I think that's good. It's kind of roughly below that one. I never really take a lot of notice about where they are yet. Right, so I think we're ready for the to stick the a bit waffly today. Come on, Mark, get a grip. This is supposed to be a quick one as well. Right. Right. So this should be right, that's all the way out. So it shouldn't be a million miles off where this is. Oops, I made a mess of that. And open and in. Right, before we go anywhere else, just make sure everything's wound in. Maybe it's more important with these than anything else. Get to a position where I can get my hand through it. Let's just get a quick check. See where that ends up. So it's currently off, it's not a million miles away that. Right, let's get the chain on. First things first though, I think we need to find some split pins. Where are you? Got you. Look at that bad boy. That's been in that box for ages. It's covered in grease and everything. It is a brand new 10-speed SRAM split link. Or quick link as they call them. Right, let's get this on. We'll pull that thing out of the way as well. We've got to break the other side off because we're switching. So I need to break the link here now because we don't need that link. We're replacing it with a quick link. Don't know if you can see this. Bring you over here. Let you look down there. Assume you can see. Try not to touch the screen. Right, so we've got the other tyre. The other chain splitter out. So we're just going to take that link out because we don't need that now because that's going to be replaced by a quick link. You shouldn't really do what I was going to do anyway. I'll do it on my own bike, I won't do it on somebody else's. I'd either put a new pin in or do like I'm doing now, put a split link in. You can reuse the split links and I do have loads of spare split links. They say you shouldn't reuse them, but I've also seen other things that say it's good to go. Right, so that's going that way round. So they do have a direction of travel on these, and so does the chain as well. So writing to the outside with a Shimano chain, unless it's, and sometimes they even say writing this way up as well. But if you look, every other link's written the other way round on a Shimano, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll just stand you back there again now, so you can watch the fun and games. Because it's a flipping e-bike, isn't it? So this bit's never going to go smoothly. Oops. Certainly not going to go smoothly if you don't actually put it through the derailleur. Come on, Mark, this is schoolboy stuff. Right, so that should be on the bottom one. Come on, don't get stuck in the... That would just be embarrassing. Right. Right, so we've done that wrong, as we normally do, because it seems to be different on every single flipping derailleur now, so it needs to go over the top of that one on this one. You know if you got it wrong because you can see it's pulling the chain, and that was pulling the chain. Right, you haven't said that though, it doesn't look right now. No, that's fine. Wait there. All good. Nothing to see here. Right, so chains going that way round in the normal direction of travel, so that link goes on there. They have a little arrow on, but weirdly the one on the back that you can't see is going backwards. I know. I've got no idea why. I've try and work most things out, but I do not understand the logic in that one. If somebody knows, please tell me. Now, Shimano, the SRAM ones are usually quite good. You can do them with your hands. The Shimano ones, you definitely need a tool, but this one doesn't seem to want to go. So, let's see if we can find the tool. The tool is here. There it is. That's it. Oh, good. Right then, let's see how we go with this. It's very stiff on that. Try and get it up onto the top so I can at least spin it round easily. Right, what I do need to do is get it down. Get that back wheel centred up. Actually done not a bad job of that. Right, I'll have to realign that back. Hey, God, that weighs a ton there, it's got its wheels on. Right, let's have a play with this and see if we can get this to without breaking the Right, so given that we've just messed about with the bearings on this, I was just giving it a quick check that it wasn't a bearing problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do what I did on the front one. Perhaps should have done for this one anyway. And just pop the pads apart again and force more fluid back up into the reservoir, and then if it's still a problem we'll try and depressurise it. Fingers on the retaining pins appear to be a bit longer on this one. I just wellied that right over? No. Good. Because that would have been a fucking disaster. Don't forget there's two pistons, so you've got to do this on both sides. Right, that should be a bit better now. Right. What have we got? Up. So as we did before, we'll just wang it back down again. Make sure we don't cross thread it. Seat it down nicely and then just back it off a fraction so it's loose, and then do the usual thing of tying it down. You must have, people have seen me do this loads and loads of times. What you're trying to do is centre the caliper. Now in theory both calipers should adjust at the same time. Hydraulics are quite good at levelling, but if you have got a sticky one it will have more bias to one side, so if you can't get these to work it might be that you have got a sticky piston in one of your sides of your caliper. excessively long bolts. It feels like we're there or thereabouts. Right, so now back them off, half a turn or something, so they're loose. Just check that it... What the... There's something not happy there, way up. Is that the same on that one? Oh, now we are missing. Missing some washers. So the washer that snapped on the other one, we're missing it on this one. Why's that winding like that? I think that's the wrong way round. I know it said up, but I think that... You don't need to watch me do this bit. Right, fixed it. Found a missing part. I've got some spare ones of them, so that's okay. It was upside down. It definitely said arrow up, but obviously that's for post, because this is a post mount system. So what that should mean is arrow in direction of travel, not up, to be honest. So that's my fault. Should have realised that. If I'd have just... I was holding the thing in a specific way to remind me to put it in that way, and when I put it there, I looked at the arrow and thought I must have moved it in my hand, so I should have stuck to my original instincts. Don't know why I didn't spot that there was a nut missing off here when I did it, but like I said, I don't like the nuts anyway. That seems to be running a lot better now, so I'm wondering whether that was half the problem. It couldn't centre itself properly, so maybe there is a good use for them nuts. It seems quite a long way across on that one. That's good. Flipping heck. Look like rock them back brakes. Whoever bled them last time must have done a good job. Right. Oh, that's a million times better now. A bit more taking to fit that. So what I generally do in this case, because I've learned my lesson with this as well, I'm just going to so I find out it goes the other way now. Right, so we're just going to slacken this off. Where got a 4.5 from? It's the 4. For 4. Just trying to have a look as well to see how lined up that is. Very difficult to see because of the way the derailleur is. These shadow derailleurs are absolute nightmare. It looks alright. Right, so I need to just take a little bit off this. See if that works. I think it wants to come down slightly. So that is that one. So it should, the way it should be is that it should overlap the tooth by half. Is that the right one? Nope, here's the little one, wasn't it? I knew it was the little one. So we'll just stick that there. That should help us a little bit. Stick them in my pocket. Stick some lube on this chain before we do anything else. So we can't find any lube. I've lost my oil can as well. But I don't remember seeing my oil can since we moved on here, to be honest. Unless it's in here somewhere. I suspect it's not been unpacked. Which is a bit annoying, unless it's up there. Can't see it up there. Come on! Right, spotted an issue. The derailleur is lifting off the chain, so we need to drop it down on the tension. It also looks like it's too tight as well, so we'll wind that down until we get it back on the teeth of the jockey wheel. Because at the moment the jockey wheel's got no chance of getting it up there. That sounds a lot better. Aha! That's jump 2 this time. No, it's not jumped any. So now we've got that, because that does change the dynamics of it. Right, so it looks like it's in about the right place. and there's tension on there as well. We just need to probably just take a little bit of a turn in on here. Right, so that probably wants a slight taking out of it. Right, we'll see how we go with that. And that's gone up one, and that's come down one. Right, I think we'll... Right, I think we might have cracked it now. Let's just take a little bit more out of that one. Chain's lubing up nicely anyway. I'll take a bit more out of that. Just looks a bit too dragged. There is some movement in there, so we're okay. That's got it now. Right then, let's quickly give these rotors one last clean. Just in case we have got anything on while we were greasing the chain. I'm paranoid about people moaning about the fact that I left grease on the rotors when I didn't. Some of this stuff I do as a final check anyway, you don't often see it on camera. Sometimes I do even clean the bikes before they go back. But that was a good spotting that was missing. I'm not entirely sure how that's happened, but there we go. God, that was a bit of a mammoth, wasn't it? Right, let's have a quick look at what recap on what we've done. We've fixed that. Where's my shitty rag? So we fixed the rear derailleur. That turns out that was a good call. I was umming and ahhing a bit as to whether we should do it, and it was only the price that swayed it, but I'll be honest, it needed doing. Right, so I'm just trying to get the excess off the chain, because it doesn't need all that amount on it, and it'll just attract the shit if it's left. That's it. So we've stripped and re-greased the rear wheel bearing, and that's in good shape. We've changed the brake pads. Give the bike a good once over. We've buttered the forks. We've freed off the Q lock at the beginning and made sure that's nicely greased up too. We've put new brake pads on the front. We've replaced the tyre, and we've replaced both the front bearings. and the bike's ready to go. Ready to go again for however long it gets this time. I'm sure we can do something to improve the look of them, but maybe not actually. I think they are matte. I suspect the front wheels. I think he said the wheels have been changed before, and the back wheel is definitely a different colour to the front wheel. So, not entirely sure about that. Have we stuck valve caps on everything? Yeah, we put valve caps on while you weren't looking. What else have we done? I think that's about it. So, other than that, everything's good. Oh, I forgot there is actually we haven't checked it. Here's me struggling away like everything, trying to get that to turn around, and there was actually in fact, we'll check the gears on that now. But always best to check. I didn't realise they don't often have two gears at the front. I've just spotted the derailleur I've been staring at all this time. Right, so I think we have definitely got that right, because that's at a good angle. And we've got the clutches on as well, so it is back where it should be. There you go. Job's a good one. Turned out to be a bit of a mammoth job, but we got there in the end, so we can let Darren know it's ready to go. In case you're wondering, that's the battery for it. I don't really need to know about the batteries, but it looks like that's slightly mullered. If I was him, I'd get a new battery flap for that, because it's supposed to sit. It's actually gone in now. There's a round thing that sits over the top to seal it, and they're a bugger to get in. You just think you slide it in from this side. It goes in from this side, so like that, and then there's a key on around there that releases it as well. I think when you do that, that's it, locks it in place, and then I think the whole thing's active then, so you can turn it on. I think. Thought I'd fixed that thing last time it was here. I think it's possibly broken that again. Oh, there we go. There you go. So it's now helping. I think it's got headlights as well, hasn't it? Could be wrong. I thought it's got headlights. No. There we go. Right, so I think we'll call it there. I'm not going to mess about with the electrics. I can do electrics. I suspect it's flat, to be honest. It's got something in it. Anyway, I think it has to feel a positive torque on there, and I can't put enough pressure on it to activate it. I did have a go with it last time. I had a quick ride in it, but the bike's obviously way too big for me. Anyway, right, we can let that one go. We'll give Darren a ring. I think total bill for everything's I can't remember what it is now. It's about 80 something pound, including the derailleur, wheel, bearings, brake pads. What else have we put on it? I think that's about it. He's got some other bits. I mean, I'll give him the bits that I've fixed on there for nothing. Oh, front rotor, yeah, 26 quid or something or 29 quid for a front rotor. Better than the last set I bought. Fucking expensive, and they are exactly the same as that. And we got the Q-lock fixed as well. We actually got that out, and one that came out and went back in again. And I do think he had it on the wrong side, so I'll put it in on the other side this time, because I'm pretty sure this is the side it should go on. There's a little bit of dragginess going on with that front brake there, but I can see daylight. It's just that the pads are a bit tight, so they will bed in. Anyway, right, hope you like that. Please press the things at the bottom of the screen to like and subscribe. Doesn't take a moment of your time, doesn't cost you a dime or a pound or a cent or a yen or a dollar.